or good afternoon if you're watching just on Derby Day. It's me, it's Yann, it's Mabbsy, and it's the Derby preview. We've just kicked off bang on, well, just after 8 o'clock, a bit like tomorrow, really. It's the 246th Merseyside Derby. It's Anfield. It's going to be a record attendance since, I don't know when, a long time ago, because they've bolted on all these extensions to Anfield.
Lost conversion.
Our shiny new stadium is waiting for us, but we're going to kind of get into it. How are you guys?
Yeah, I'm good. So just for disclosure, if there's swearing, I do apologise, but this is a derby, so you can understand its raw emotion. Yann needs to be serious. I can't wait. I actually can't wait into these bastards. You know, we'll talk about this one later, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going. So yeah.
You're going? Oh, well, that's good.
I'm going, yeah.
Where are you going to? The toilet? Right.
Well,
yeah. Any kind of, obviously this time tomorrow, Nurse will be jangling. I'll be behind the sofa. How are you feeling?
I mean, well, I don't want to jump straight into it. It's been a break from football, and not only that, rather than the nerves, even though we've had the derby coming, we've been on a fantastic, although it's been a little bit of a downward, we haven't got some of the results that we should have had recently, you know, West Ham and some of the games where we thought we maybe deserved more, as was alluded to by Moyes in the press conference. This break has been long, relaxing, sunny, and devoid of the usual worry that's come before games following Everton for the last 3 or 4 years. It's been
more importantly, Yann. More importantly, Everton haven't spoiled 2 weekends on the bounce.
But honestly, for you guys,
the weather, there's something in the sky that looks kind of yellowy. I've not seen it for a while, and the football's back, and there's a lot to be positive about for Blues because we're getting players back as well.
Is that some sort of horrific segue back to Moyes' trip to Mabbsy's trip to Anfield tomorrow? He's got to look over his shoulder to watch out for yellow things.
Well, we've got to segue back. I've got to control you two, but we've got to segue back towards the game at some point. We started off by not
basically.
Getting into the game.
I don't know about you. I don't know tell me how you've been feeling, but although I've not necessarily I've sort of put it out of my mind, but I haven't had reason to worry because this game comes as we've really found some form. We've switched on. We've even though we've been threadbare and we've fought against what seems to be all the odds. We've got some great results. We're looking a lot more positive. We've climbed up the table, and not only that, I mean, what a time to actually, when you've got this impetus, what a time to play the top 5 teams.
And let's not forget they're on the back foot because sorry, I can't help laughing. Quite literally got knocked out of the Champions League and then got beat by Newcastle, and then we're the next game. You know what? I think, they had a bad week, but they're coming on a down. They've had this international break and then the FA Cup break. I think as well, looking at this fixture in January, obviously Sean Dickhead, it was a worry. We needed to go out and win. We still need to go out and win. Don't get me wrong, but it was a really important game for us. Because we were devoid of wins, and towards the back end of the season, but we can go in a bit more relaxed. I'm not saying I still want them to go at it, but you know what I mean. It's not going to harm our survival, and they're not going to be gleeing.
It'd be really nice if we did one over on them, wouldn't it be?
Actually,
just because of the league. I mean, we can't lie about the league position. It is what it is.
No, we're not going to discuss that. We're not just saying about.
No. But that's not. Everton. No, Mabbsy. Let's discuss it because the point being is they have a pretty unassailable lead. Like, look, we might not like them. We might have plenty of reason to. It might just be bitterness. As a rival, it might be all sorts of stuff. But when you look at the situation, you cannot deny that. How many points clear are they?
Yeah, but this isn't a Liverpool. I'm not going to
ahead of the Arsenal match.
Who cares? But my point being is, you know what? I don't really care about them. This isn't about them. This is about us.
Yeah, but it is about them when we're playing.
No, it isn't. No, it is. But it's not that league position. Who gives a crap about that? At the end of the day, I'm not thinking about them. I'm thinking about Everton and where we could have been if we were looking at this game come in end of December. We're looking at a completely different angle now where we are, and that's my point being, is we can go in more relaxed. We can actually, you know what? I think if you play Liverpool and don't show them any respect, the trouble is teams go to Anfield, they quiver, show the dickheads respect, and they fucking roll over and let slot tickle their bellies. You know what? Newcastle showed that last Sunday, that you know what, if you don't treat them with any respect, or sorry, whatever it was, it's too, you know what I mean. But you don't treat them with respect, you get a result.
Yeah, I mean, and as Jack's pointed out here, look, it touches on your point. Now, Newcastle are a good team. Look at the uplift and the revitalization they've had, money and signings, and and Christ, what's his name, Eddie Howe, But the point being that their lead is unassailable. It's not that they're necessarily outplaying and outclassing and getting the rub of the green every time a close competition. They are running away with it because the closest competitors just don't seem to have it. City have tailed off. Arsenal don't have the resilience necessarily to challenge. Now, but the point being is, okay, they've maybe had a bit of determination to stamp it, and they always want to turn the screw against us, and they always manage to. But the point being is, we've got a real opportunity here, and I think though that you do have to be mindful. You can't just go all guns blazing. You have to look at it from, okay, there's various factors, but if we go and really try and go a smash and grab, they could do the typical Liverpool thing, which is somehow score most of their goals on the counter really quickly, and we're not even in the game, which I don't want to see.
Yeah, and I'm not here to play smoke up their arse. I'm not going to acknowledge where they are. I don't care. You know what? It to me, they're insignificant. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to give a crap. I'm not here to talk about them. I'm here to talk about Everton, Liverpool versus Everton. And
I'm here to pick up on a comment, Mabbsy, about it being relaxed, and I've just put up a screenshot. This was at the end of the derby. That wasn't that long ago. I don't think it's going to be relaxed. I think it's going to spill over.
I think I've kind of rephrased that wrong. Okay, we would have. I think my point being is, it could have been a crucial to our survival, okay, in December, right? And then it could have been. There's no disputing that, right? Okay, absolutely not. And I'm not saying relax. I think that relax is the wrong word, but we can go in without any fear of us. You'll see what I'm saying.
Yeah, but we've lost that genuine. We tend to have lost that in football because there was almost. Forgive me, anyone who's watching, please see if you can put it into your own words or your own experience, because I want to know if it's a shared experience. Stevie, Mabbsy as well, chip in, because there was a period of watching Everton where it was infuriatingly, almost painful, embarrassing, like going and watching a friend try something that you know that they're not very good at, and they're not even doing the fundamentals very well, so you just try and go, it was. Now that's what you say, the fact that we're being afraid, the fact that we didn't even seem to do the basics of football, and it was just we were kicking it out and doing all sorts of stupid stuff, and we don't have that now. And I don't know whether it's the Moyes factor, because it's such a short space of time, but it's incredible. And I think that is a reason to not be afraid, which means that when we were afraid, though, we were doing stupid things. And yes, it resulted in us winning games. But what kind of, at least now we've got tactics, don't we?
It's true. We're not like that side. We don't. There's a lot to be positive about. But yeah, it's still going to be heated. It's a derby. It's Anfield. They're probably a bit raw, although Slot says they're refreshed. You would think that Everton are also kind of refreshed. Good injury progress as well with some of the key players. We've got a lot. Look, it's still a derby. It doesn't matter even if it was a pre-season match. It would still be an intense game, even if there's nothing riding on it. And there is things riding on it. We don't know what's going to happen with Arsenal tonight, and that might apply a little bit of doubt and pressure. We don't know how they're thinking. Everton I would really hope that when we cross the line, we're going to get at them. We're just not going to let them be comfortable. But if we do have to park the bus and have long periods, then so be it. That's typically what we do at Anfield. And we'll have to try and find a way on the break. But at the end of the day, this is still an important derby because it's Moyes' first derby returning. It's the last. It's a season where Everton play at the home ground 3 times effectively because we play at Anfield, Goodison, and Bramley-Moore. It's kind of the resurgence of Moyes. We're going in 9 unbeaten into this game. We obviously are going to play in their backyard and then winning the league at a canter. And it is spicy because of the end of the last game, which was not that long ago. It really was quite recent. Was it February? It felt too. It doesn't feel like we've not. I've not had enough sleep since the last derby. Yeah,
it was meant to be December, so because it got postponed. Yeah, no, I absolutely. But this is my point being is if you treat them with any sort of respect, then you're going to lose because they'll work the way in. But if you go into the game and you don't treat them with any respect, you just ignore the quiet fan. They're quiet fans because it's a load of bollocks. This famous Anfield atmosphere, being so many derbies there, shite. At the end of the day, they're too interested in hot dogs and fucking song sheets and all this rubbish. You know what? We will go there, and I think we'll come away with something.
Well, I mean, the thing you say that when we go to Anfield and the team that Moyes sort of the highlight years of his tenure, when we went there and we really brought it to them, and a lot of times we were very unlucky. And that was the era when they were winning the Champions League as well. They just managed to turn it on a lot, and they had some good players, and so did we. But as he pointed out, that the gulf has grown. And again, Peter's pointed it out here, and it's what we did in the last game. If you nullify their sort of target players that they get the ball to, and obviously you've got like Szoboszlai and I forget, names elude me at the moment. I'm having a bad day, but it's just. If you can shut them out like that, they do get frustrated. They will not play. If they will not play their style of football, and a couple of times this year we've seen it. I mean, PSG rattled them in a way mentally. So for us to go there, I just wanted to bring this up. It's 110 years to the give or take that we beat them 5-0 at Anfield, the largest ever away win in a derby.
We're due one then, aren't we?
But I mean, it was just rather frustrating though that if we don't play the right kind of tactics, we've seen it a couple of times recently. We can do everything right and still have that moment of susceptibility, of weakness, of just being sloppy or lazy, or a couple of players just being caught out. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, we have to put in a good shift to get anything out of this game. We're going to have to do what we did in the last game, which was very commendable against Liverpool. We played that game really well. And we were unlucky to go right to the death 1-0 down. You can say what you want about the injury time and all of that melee. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't say we battered them, but we came out, especially in the second half, and we gave as good as we got. And they were under the cosh for long periods. And
Peter, can I just... Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, and it's okay, Mabbsy. It's not like you to interrupt. No, basically, that's fine. Basically, we put in a good shift there. All we need to do is do the same thing again. And if we do that, we have every chance of putting a point on the board, if not 3. You never know. Mabbsy, sorry.
Peter, I just think, Peter, you're kind of wrong at this one, right? The away end would not be empty. It'd still be full. The rest of the stadium would be empty, absolutely, but not the away end. Anyway, sorry, it's just a bit of a joke. It's fine. So, yeah. So sorry about that.
Don't be.
So right, should we go into team news?
Yeah, we can go to team news. Obviously, both Slot and Moisey spoke today with their respective camps. Slot saying that Liverpool are refreshed. Some of the players have had a few days off. A couple of international players have basically come back having scored or put in good. I think he's trying to put a good slant on it. Effectively, they had a terrible week, got knocked out 2 cups, and he's trying to put a positive slant into the game.
Trent is out.
Trent is out. I think Trent's on his way to Real Madrid anyway. and maybe
Yeah.
they don't. We don't know the ins and outs of that. Moyes has said that Iliman Ndiaye is closer to fitness than Dwight, but they're both training, as is Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who won't make the game, doesn't know when he's back. And Mikalenko is the big boost going into this game. Guys, what do you think about this team news? Do you think any of those three are going to feature? I mean, it's speculation.
I think they'll both be on a bench. Personally, because I think he did that last time with Brozier, and then he put him on. He said that, didn't he? He said he just started to return. He whacked them on the bench and then brought them on. I think he'll do the same with Ndiaye, and I think he'll do the same with McNeil. As I say,
do you think we're just going to see the same lineup against that we saw against West Ham then? I mean, who would you?
It's a possibility, isn't it? You can't. At the end of the day, you've got Beto's going to have to start because, well, it's a toss-up between Beto or Brozier, isn't it?
Yeah.
But Beto's the informed one. Brozier's still coming back, and probably not the best time to have that break that we've just had for Brozier.
The only difference that I could suggest is if Miko's not fit, we might see Young. Or we could see like a three. I don't know, and then it could be an extra midfielder because if Harrison's brought on and Alcaraz is a sub, but you might think if Alcaraz isn't up to it, and the potential for him to get fired up as a South American youngster wanting to make a mark in the derby, getting an early red card, he might put in a more maybe considered player like Lindstrom is the only alternative, maybe.
Can't make a lot of changes, can we? We can't expect these two players to come in as much as I'd love them to come in, especially McNeil. I haven't seen him for such a long time. And he was a crucial part of the lineup and assists, and his play has been great. And then Ndiaye was the most creative player before he got injured as well. But we've done okay without them, so it's great to see them. I think he'll just play safe. I think he'll do exactly what you said, Mabbsy. He'll put them on the bench. He'll play safe. But he's got them there. If we're 1-0 down and we need to change it, then
that's interesting from Wormy saying, and I'm still bringing a knee brace, he won't play. Now, is that just for the cameras, or is that Moyes' little? I don't know. It could be. It could be.
It's a good point.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a good point. If you're looking at it, I mean, Everton don't have an awful lot of threatening players on paper. McNeil and Ndiaye, you're looking. If you're in an opposition dressing room and you're trying to highlight strengths and weaknesses of an opposition, and you're looking at Everton, very sound defensively, great spirit, good crowd, and all of that. You're looking at who's going to create the chances. They'll be circling those. Now, even if they don't play, the fact that they're a threat on the bench, because it's just kids otherwise and extra goalies, it does actually give the players on the pitch confidence, gives the fans the kind of the knowledge that if it doesn't go so well, you kind of got them there in the wings. And it just gives everyone a bit of an uplift, and the opposition. I always look at the bench and go, who's on the bench? You look at teams like City and they've got, oh my God, all these players on the bench, and Liverpool also 4 or 5 strikers on the bench. And you go, if it doesn't go well, they're going to bring on these. Well, Everton is just being kids till now. So just having a few first teamers on there, even if they're not fit, I think it does. I know that sounds mad because if they're not going to come on, they're not going to come on. But I do think that psychologically it just helps. Yann?
I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at the state of the fact that we're talking about the possibility of not fully fit players sitting on the bench, giving confidence to the players of the. I'm sorry, like it's absurd. It's like Soren Kierkegaard is literally rising from his grave to have a chocolate. Yeah.
So anyway, Yann, Peter actually disagrees with you. He says we don't play the same lineup against West Ham. Alcaraz isn't good out wide. Harrison can't play on the right, and hopefully Moyes has noticed that. So,
well, that's what I was thinking. That's why I think we might see Lindstrom on the right and Harrison on the left, Alcaraz on the bench, and yeah, I mean, what else do you want to? I don't know. You can't take Idrissa Gana Gay or Garner. Because they're, I mean, what do you fit in Irabunum and try to force them out to the wings where they've got Salah and we don't want them to play? Like, but then in the, sorry, what do you do?
Well, they'll get their obligatory penalty, won't they? Let's be honest. Let's have it straight. They'll get their obligatory penalty like they always do. Definitely with us. We never get good refereeing decisions.
At least we're not this semi-automated thing. I would love to have this in this game because it might have been helpful to see how that played out. Instead, it'll just be whatever decision goes to Liverpool.
Well, hang on a second. What I do find rather frustrating is the number of times that they let it play. The favoritism. I'm not just saying it applies to Liverpool. It does apply to Liverpool, to City, even to United to a certain extent. You know, the well-established big teams where they have the swagger and they don't get booked for crowding the ref, right? They let them play and they get second phase or they get advantage or the ball goes out and it doesn't get checked and there's because the linesman hasn't flagged or anything like that, and it's just like, oh well, and they go on. It's just, I don't know. I can't be the only one that finds it rather frustrating that we get flagged immediately all the time. And it's like, well, even if it's right, why is it that we don't get the benefit of human error that other teams seem to get when it ends up being favoritism?
It is,
Anyway.
but you know what? I think this like, I hate rule changes like midway through the season.
Mid-season, yes. Where's the parity? Where's the equality?
Yeah, where's the consistency from the leagues that you just decide to change the league rules halfway through? So it's okay on the run up to the end of the season. We'll just throw this in. I don't see A point and B how is it fair because other games haven't been played on the semi-automated rule.
It'd be better if they fix what is clearly broken that they're still trying to fix, which is, well, why is it that we've had multiple incidences involving us and other teams recently where VAR has had a subjective human error element into a piece of technology that's meant to be objective and to improve consistency, when you've had discussions on match of the day nationwide over the suitability and the application of this technology? Wankers.
It seems a bit wrong that they're bringing in any technology. I'm not a big fan of some FA Cup games having VAR, some not.
No, it's ridiculous.
Bringing on things halfway through. Like, I'm not really a massive fan of the fact that they're bringing it in halfway through the season.
Not even halfway, two-thirds of the season.
But, you know, if you're going to test it out in the cup competition, not in the league. But it is what it is. We've not always been on the best side of it. The Man U thing was crazy. Because I thought Young was foul, but that's another matter. But you know, we've had our fair share of bad luck. We need some luck, because if you look at the stats here, unfortunately, Blues, it's not happy reading. We go to Anfield, we know that they dominate. We tend to get a draw at Goodison, but I don't want to keep this stat on for very long, because we know, we know what happened when we had Ancelotti and that we won that game. But we just don't get a lot from there. A draw at best. You can see here, Liverpool have been dominant, but 35 matches have been either a Liverpool win or a draw out of 38. 3 wins for us. It's just been poor. I mean, if we're going to win tomorrow, what do we need to do?
I think Jack's got it right, by the way. The Premier League is corrupt. We all know that. Arsenal are winning 1-0, I think. So, because according to Danny Ellis, so that's all good. So that's going to put more pressure on them. And you know what? They'll buckle, I think. Hopefully. What was the question, Steve? Sorry.
It's okay. I mean, I agree with you. I think you can have an unassailable lead, and then you can actually shoot yourself in the foot because you think you're so far ahead that it's a done deal. It could have gone either way. Of course, if Arsenal hadn't done anything today, and they may still not, then you've got that fact that Liverpool kind of, it's done. There's no like impetus to go ahead and like force the win tomorrow. They'd settle for a draw. This will kind of wake Liverpool up a little bit. I was just saying that obviously it's not been a happy hunting ground. Moyes has actually said in his press conference today that it's not the crowd, it's not the pitch, it's not any of that. It's just that Liverpool have put out good sides. Yeah, it's put out a good side. We look for excuses. Liverpool have notoriously been able to field good sides, some better than others.
But the thing is that again, I'm not waxing lyrical. This isn't a cop, fan channel, right? But the majority of football fans who watch, who buy the merchandise, who go to the matches, who engage on social media, who watch our stream, for the majority of them, for their entirety of their life, Liverpool have been the dominant team. And whether that is, whether that means that they've been winning the league or not, for most of that time, they've been better than us. And it's shit and it sucks and I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
right? But you can't fucking deny. Well, it's foolish to deny it, and it just but
Yeah,
somebody did
no
point out in
one's
the
going
press
to deny
conference.
it. I just don't think we should acknowledge it. I don't
Yeah,
care.
yes,
I don't.
but
I hate to acknowledge it. Even I'm not going to acknowledge it. At the end of the day, I hate them. Always will hate them. And at the end of the day, I don't care.
It is
I
what
really
it is.
support that.
They've put out good side, and we've given them a lot of respect, especially at Anfield. Recent years have been slightly better. I mean, look at this. We had the goalless in lockdown. We had then Liverpool winning. Then we won, and then obviously the draw. It's not been a great place to go for us for a long time. You know, you can count the fact that we can remember them, all of them, all three of them, says it all. You shouldn't be able to remember these, but obviously Kevin Campbell was a big one, and
Super
then
Kev.
the late Kevin Campbell. So you know, it's not been a good one. The Kanchelskis ride out pairing, and we had the one in recent times. It's really not been that many. So we're going to have to go in. Unfortunately, that clouds your judgment when you go there. You think, oh, are we going to win? Are we going to get a draw? Or whatever. I'm hoping that with Moyes, hand to glove, back in the Derby seat, he's already shown what he can do. We're going in 9 unbeaten. Liverpool slightly, probably better. I mean, I don't know how they're feeling. I was trying to get some Reds on, but I just wanted to know. I don't know whether anyone Liverpool fans are watching. I just wanted to know: is it going to be a disappointment that you're just going to win the league? Because at one point it was at least 2 trophies were on the cards, maybe 3.
Sorry,
I'm sorry. I begrudge giving anyone an opportunity to say it's a disappointment that we only win the league.
You know what, though?
Well, they're on Talk Sport. If you don't want to get them here, well, you can get them on Talk Sport. Believe me.
Right.
And there are other channels available.
I actually do. I do think actually now there's a bit of doubt in their minds as to whether they're going to win it. You know what? There's a few. My manager, it's a prime example of this. Basically, after they were they got the Newcastle won in the Carabao Cup. Basically, I was called in. I gave him a lot of crap on WhatsApp. I enjoyed it. To be fair, wasn't that bothered. And then he was called in to his office and got told, "You're too bitter. We don't discuss football." And because they're quite literally nervous now about messing it all up. Quite literally, he's a proper cop-out, and he's quite literally. You know what though? I've got the last laugh. So if they do win, and they probably will, I hate to say, you know what? I'm just gonna when he goes like, which he will do, give me all that. I'll just say, well, we can't talk about football. You agreed. That's the rules. So I have my fun. He can't have his. So that's absolutely fine by me.
It's fun for it's fun. Yeah, fun for you. That's the fun that counts.
Absolutely. And I'm just going to say, well, we can't discuss football because he's probably watching, to be fair, because he's like one of those those cop-outs that know everything about Everton and probably, you know what I mean? Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, I just hate them, and yeah, I do think they are doubting now, even though they're 11 points or 12 points ahead, that they could potentially mess this up.
But only in the same way that. But I think it's only in this. I don't find it. I don't think it's serious. I think it's only the same people who are thinking like, oh, the FA are going to Premier League are going to rescind City's things, and we're going to get like 5 championship or something ridiculous like that. You know,
they're not. City going to waive it. I can guarantee you, with night or day, they'll get a slap on the wrist, a fine, and nothing else.
With their lawyers, they'll get away.
I mean,
with
they're 9 points ahead as it stands at the moment. So if we, so basically, oh my God, it would be rather. I don't want to talk about it, but it would be rather lovely if we nicked a win and they were suddenly getting very, very nervous.
Well, that's the dream, but I think make them win the league rather than just give it to them. I mean, it looks like a foregone conclusion. We can certainly go there and have our own little party. We don't want them to be like putting a few past us tomorrow, and I'm sure that we'll be fired up for it. But there's not as much riding on this as there was maybe the Goodison one, because that was the final derby at Goodison, and I do think that there could be spillage over from the melee towards the end, and it was very heated, and everyone's come out and apologised, and it's all been nice. But just I think when they cross the line, I think it's going to be typical derby. I think the usual sort of thing will happen. I expect Liverpool will have a lot more possession, and Everton will probably just be happy to sit back for a bit.
Yeah, and you know what? It will be interesting tomorrow, because I think we go without fearing them. You know what? As it's been alluded to, just pay them zero respects. You know what? They're at Anfield, so fucking what? At the end of the day, their support shit. They're quiet as hell, despite what they always say. It's bollocks.
Yeah, how much of a factor is it? Yeah, you just have to think, well, how much of a factor is it that it's Anfield? Everton fans will probably make more noise for a lot of this game, you would have thought. Because that's just how it is when you go away from home. The away fans sing. But you know, we spoke about Everton. They just need to show as much spirit as they did at Goodison, and then we should be fine to get something from the game. But you know, you just can't predict. It's not as predictable as you want it to be. The obvious candidate would be probably a draw, because Liverpool won't want to lose, certainly to Everton, and they know that a draw just keeps them ahead. But they definitely can't afford to lose, because that would be embarrassing and put them under pressure with the league. And then Everton will be like, well, the draw would be a great result. So that's where it would probably naturally head.
Danny said we shouldn't be giving them any respect tomorrow. It's the worst league since Leicester won it, right? Now, what I will just, in regards to that, we might have a point. I just think that it's made it rather interesting, and it would be a lot better if it weren't. I mean, don't get me wrong. I begrudge Forest being up there, because they spent and they need to finish up there to justify their losses, and the difference in the points deduction for they're going massively. You know, as a like, I won't. But 50% over, and we were 20%. You know, and just no, right. But it's interesting to see. You know, City. And Chelsea have climbed back up, but you know, United have come down. Spurs, West Ham. It's just it's reminiscent of the stories that the older fans used to say. You know, our dads. You know, when they talked about football and teams coming up and challenging for Europe and winning the league the next season, and you know, it was just there was more competitiveness, and it was more unexpected. It was a case of anything can happen rather than the predictability, which is a little bit, as you say. I think it's important that we make Liverpool work for it, because I don't want to see them struggle to you know, or not necessarily walk away with it when everyone else is so crap if they're going to win it. You know, it's not fair.
Apparently your mic isn't.
Yeah, I fixed my mic. I think it just the input went and something. Sorry.
Okay, now.
That's loud.
Okay. All right. Cheers.
Right. You know what? So basically, what was surmising there was Liverpool aren't good. It's just the league being shit this year, and I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'm happy to take away that.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, it doesn't detract from the success and the money and the. Yeah.
Stop blowing smoke up their asses.
I'm not. I'm just.
You are. You quite literally are, and we're not here for that. Right. So come on, guys. Let's get your score predictions in. It's going to be a stab in the dark because, you know, the old cliche, it's a derby match, anything can happen. And what is it? Football isn't played on paper, it's played on grass. So let's have your wildest predictions. And if it's not Everton win or a draw, then I'm not putting it up. Pretty much that's how it goes.
It's very hard. I mean, it's very hard to back against our own side.
Google.
But,
well, then don't.
What do you predict the Merseyside derby result will be tomorrow?
Oh, well, I asked my 5-year-old.
Go on, what did JJ say?
We were in the process of trying to build this thing. It's so complicated. I'll be doing a separate video on that probably before the end of the season. Just trying to stay sane. He said
Still
no, they
won't
won't win. The smelly team will win because they cheat.
I mean, that's coming from a 5-year-old, and that's.
But I mean, he's got a lot of
fair
logical
play,
sense.
JJ. He's an absolute clever lad.
I think we score. I mean, we've scored quite a lot. We went a bit before this run of 9. We went like 6 games without scoring or something. I think we will score. I think we'll score, but I think Salah will get his.
A sneaky says sneaky 1-0 to us. I can't see that happening because obviously they will get their obligatory penalty no matter what. I'm going 2-1 to Everton. Again, there's no mathematics or it's just complete stab in the dark. But I think we will concede because Salah will get his obligatory penalty because they all love him pretty much. Where are we? So
and he can. Salah's the sort of player he can be. I mean, he's not had. I don't want to say this really, but I'm going to say it anyway. He's out of this season. He's on the back end of his best form. What?
You seen that from Jack?
Is Jackpot? Are you on Twitter as Lee Ty's back heel or something?
Yeah, it probably will be Jack, won't it? Absolutely. But I did say the wildest prediction, so
We're not looking for a cricket update from Australia. We're actually looking for a realistic derby score here.
No, it's wildest predictions. Come on, let's have a bit of fun, Steve.
Yeah. I think everyone.
Honestly, I think I would be very satisfied with 1-1, like because as you say, it's difficult to score. We've got injuries. They're a good team, all this kind of thing. Yeah, But what I would love to see, I'd love to see something dramatic. We get an early goal. We're under the cosh. They batter us. Clearly, they get the goal. Then they get a late penalty, which Pickford saves. And then in the last minute, we go up and get a winning goal, and Anfield is in uproar. And here's the thing. Right, I don't know whether it's a penalty that they shouldn't have got that we save and we're like, aha, or whether it's a really bad penalty. I don't want to wish injury. Right, or whether it's a really bad, clear penalty that they're like, oh yeah, fine, we've got the penalty and they deserve it, right? And then Pickford saves. That would just be
and then what happens is Moyes runs onto the pitch, right? And then they lambast him for doing that. But remember, Klopp did it a few seasons ago. Remember, you know what I mean? But that's what they're like. That's exactly what they're like. They're absolute hypocrites. And you know what I mean? They're just honestly, yeah. Jack again, come on, you Blues, absolutely. Peter goes, better will give one dickhead another sneaky injury as well. Imagine a few, but they're not bothered, are they? Because he's going at the end of the season, so hopefully, so that's all good. Is that Paris he's going to? Oh God, it's the team's falling apart, and then Salah's off out. You know what? It's going to be good next season. They're going to have to massively rebuild. Yeah, but it's crazy.
They're going to have the money, though, aren't they? Oh, no, wait. Who's leaving out of contract expiry? Trent Alexander-Arnold?
Trent Alexander-Arnold, Van Scheidt, and Mo Salah.
All on contract expiry?
All out expiry, and they're haven't been...
What was that? What was that rumour and figure that was bandied around about? Was it Bayern Munich for Salah? Was it 140 million or something?
I don't know. He'll probably go to Saudi or somewhere where he,
I know wherever he goes, but they won't get any. We're more to there's no value on the book.
No, because they won't get absolutely nothing. He's on a free.
Anyway,
brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Honestly. Anyway, right. So I think this is a good place to leave it tonight. I'll be at Anfield. Were you guys watching it?
Behind the sofa. Don't know whether Basil's coming over or not. He left his MacBook charger at mine, so maybe it's the excuse he needs to journey down this way. But yeah, behind the sofa for me. I don't enjoy these things. But if we can keep in the game for long enough, then maybe I can come towards the front of the sofa and possibly get the popcorn out when Pickford makes his penalty save. What about you?
And remember, you lads, just there's another unique thing about this derby. It is the only fixture where the away fans travel and the home fans. The home fans travel and the away fans walk. Brilliant.
No April. Did anyone get April Fool this morning?
No.
No. Is it?
I managed to get Mo when we dropped some eggs on the floor, but nothing will beat my brother-in-law. He stayed with me. I think it was 2 years ago, and we had one of those yellow parking ticket things, and I kept the yellow wrapper. I've got the video somewhere. This is hilarious. And non-Everton related.
Yeah.
But he's a Man U fan, so there's a little football spin on it. My wife and I, we printed off a genuine looking parking ticket, put it in, and he went in the morning because he was driving back with my sister and the kids, and I've got the whole reaction, and there'll never be an April Fool like it again. I'd waited weeks, months for that opportunity, and it just happened and it played out. So, but yeah. There's a few knocking around. There was one this morning where people were having to upload something on their season ticket.
No, it was a voucher from the old King Stock. If you remember, your season ticket booklet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we used to get like in the early 2000s.
You tear it off. Yeah.
It was the priority. It was one of the priority tickets for that. So that was quite funny. Anyway, up the fucking toffees, and all I can say, Everton, is just go into them, show no respect, and we will come out with something. Up the fucking toffees.
Absolutely. If you like this video as well, make sure you hit the like. Even if you're a subscriber, it does help us to come up in the algorithm, and make sure you tell everyone you know about the channel. Yann, any closing thoughts? Any well wishes?
No, not really. Just up the fucking toffees.
Let's go and get the
points.
Come on, Blues. Let's do this
I've not been writing football poems. I've been writing dirty limericks.
Yeah.
Anyway, right.
And I'm sure I'll do a little review on the Everton brick set. It has a lot to be desired. That's all I can say. It's fallen apart more times than our midfield. I had to rebuild basically three sides of the ground.
Well, good luck to anyone waiting on the waiting list as well for the season ticket.
Yeah,
it's melee. Keep watching Ryan's videos. We're down to
they take it off.
Still go up every week. We should be down to what, 4,000? No one knows.
Well, no, because they've taken them off now, so it's debatable whether anyone's actually going to get another ticket. Maybe they'll.
And we don't know how many have been left over for general sale, but they have to keep a minimum allowance.
Yeah, so you don't know if that's a general sale allocation or whatever. So as I say, all the best if you are offered the season ticket. And there's always next year. To try, because there's a few drop-offs and stuff like that, unfortunately, and it's worth just keeping in there and praying you'll get one eventually.
Yeah, just in case you missed it, Newcastle beat Liverpool in the EFL final, unless you were living under a cloud. So we put that comment back up.
So that's the shit.
I've got it on record to watch again. If Everton can watch that video or watch back that Newcastle performance, was absolutely first class, and just get half, that physicality that they had, get into them, and we should have a good chance tomorrow. So from me, from the team, from everyone here, we'll see you after the match. Everyone and no one probably.
I'll come on when I'm in the car.
So we'll see you then, and bye for now. Have a good night and enjoy the game. Bye for now.
Cheers.